We're here with assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell after Bloomington has successfully completed their 2015 draft through both phases. Jewell, I appreciate the time here. It's got to be nice, a little bit of the weight off the shoulders here already.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of relief my first time through the draft, and definitely a great experience and something to be excited about.
Now, this draft, we've touched on it with Coach Williams and Coach Mahood. You weren't around for the last draft, but at the same time, there wasn't a whole lot of time to prep for that. This year, it's been a lot of culmination going out now and scouting players. How'd you think overall, just first take, how the team did so far?
We're very happy with what we've done over the last 2 days. We have an exciting group of players and a lot of guys we think are going to be a big part of the future here in Bloomington. So it's very exciting. I think want to give credit to our scouting staff throughout the year, and just constant communication and hard work, and watching just a ton of hockey games and communicating with these kids and the families, and it's been a great experience.
We're talking with assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell after Bloomington finished up Phase 2 of their draft. Phase 1 was Monday evening, and 10 rounds of picks, all the futures drafts, really the 99 birth years, the future of the organization. Kind of touch on some of the big guns that you guys were able to go out and pick up from that draft, and you're hoping for big things in the future. Obviously, tough to tell down the road, but hoping.
Yeah, we're very happy with all of our picks. I think we're very fortunate to get all these guys. We had them all, rated extremely high on our list, and we're excited about these guys. Our first pick, Marco Reifenberger out of Hill Murray School. Big forward that can finish, and had a big year at Hill Murray as a sophomore, and he has a lot of room to grow, and he's going to be a big time player. I mean, we think all of our guys here are going to be big time players. That's why we took them in Phase 1. That's where a lot of the league's kind of built on, is around these Phase 1 draft picks who really develop and become big time players. But Ben Moragus out of Avon Prep in Connecticut is very solid defenseman, a lot of upside there. All these guys have big time upside. Jack Harris out of Prior Lake in Minnesota. Skylar Brindamore from Carolina Junior Hurricanes, son of big time NHLer Rod Brindamore. Another New England guy, Michael Callahan out of Roxbury Prep in the Boston area. Christian Thomas, a kid from Northern New York who spent his time in New Hampshire this year playing for the Northern Cyclones, University of Vermont commit. And we have a big forward out of Detroit, Patrick Smith. Very good up and down player, ton of upside and potential there, and a kid who can finish as well. And then Fletcher Feynman, a D-man from Florida, who I'm under the impression that he'll spend the year in Omaha, U16 next year. Great program, and he's a big time player. And you have another Minnesota kid, Bram Shearer from Edina, and then Patrick Dawson, another New England Prep kid out of Westminster Prep in Connecticut, and we're happy to add a Chicago kid in Tommy Altunen down the stretch. We're just really excited about all the guys. I can go on for a while, and I know I've been rattling off the names here, but just a really exciting group and a big part of our future.
So now, obviously, finishing up Phase 2, and Bloomington going through 14 rounds or so in this part of the draft, and just a big time step. These are the guys who you may see in the Thunder uniforms next year. Who do you expect to come in and make a big impact right from day one?
Yeah, all of our high picks, our expectation is that they step in and are big parts of our team right away. We were fortunate enough to have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, which we were very fortunate based on our action over the last year and a half. And I mentioned those first 3 rounds. So Ethan Samoza out of Fairbanks had a big year with over 60 points in the North American League. A kid out of California, Noah Delma's right shot defenseman for the Aurora Tigers in Ontario League, and he should help us out on the back end, as well as Brogan Rafferty and Miles Cunningham, our next 2 picks, one a 98, one a 95. So brings a little veteran experience, and then some guy that's going to really come along and be a big part of our team in the coming years. And then Will Harrison, who's actually played for a team who's an affiliate of our organization, the ownership group, and he was a big part of the Amarillo Bulls this year. there leading their team in points, and a guy that we see can help us out down the middle for sure. So that's just guys in the first 3 rounds there, and it doesn't end there. There's quite, you go right through the draft. There's guys that we think can really help us stepping in right away, even at through the next bunch of rounds there. So.
Finishing up here with assistant coach and director of scouting here from the draft room as Bloomington finishing up the 2015 USHL draft phase 2 over and done. But it also doesn't mean that players can't make the team. These are just the initial protected guys on the roster. What still is to come is the main camp, and there's a lot of opportunity for players, not only if they did not get drafted to make an impact, but also these guys do have to earn their spots, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're really happy with our returning group, and there's a lot to be said about that. We were fortunate enough to finish 5 games above 500 as an expansion team this past year, but our expectation is to win a championship next year. So our core group and foundation returning, we're very excited about, and hopefully we can add in some very good players to mix in with our already pretty solid group, both on and off the ice. Just a great group of guys, and hopefully we can get them integrated here pretty quickly.
Bloomington finishing up the season last year above 500, looking to get even better into year number 2. Jewell, I appreciate the time here, and best of luck throughout the rest of the offseason and evaluating these guys as we get towards main camp.
Happy to take a minute.
That's assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell. Thanks so much for tuning in. Catch up with some of the other players in the coming weeks as we preview some of your future Bloomington Thunder players before the 2015-16 season.